Hello, my name is Hugo Ferriera, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I'm a former participant of the European Solidarity Corps program, and I also took part in the French Service Civic. I'll tell a little about my experience, just to give you some context on why young people like me would choose these programs. Then I'll give you a quick brief of the programs and why I think it might interest you, your organizations or your projects to join these programs. I know they are European, but I know as well that there are some exceptions that people not from the EU can join. And I also know that some countries have their own programs, like the French Service Civic, that there's other ways to join, even if you are not from the EU. The pictures that are in my presentation were taken during my volunteering experience. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing exactly now, because I think it's part of the story I'm going to tell you. Okay, so moving on, what motivated me to do this experience was when I was a small kid, I used to watch those Sunday morning nature shows with my father, and I was really curious about the world and to see the animals, to learn about them. And for that reason, I did a bachelor degree in biology and geology and a master degree in ecology. Actually, I was working more with macroalgae and macroinvertebrate communities associated to them, and I knew nothing about birds. Unfortunately, in Portugal, there's not a lot of opportunities in the ecology field, so I end up having to move to the south of Portugal, where I work in a hotel as a biologist. And by this, I mean 1 day a week, I would give presentations about the local biodiversity to the guests at the hotel. As you can see, my dog was very sad that I had to move, but and despite it being a beautiful place, as you can see in this last picture, I was very frustrated and depressed that I worked so hard to finish my studies, and I couldn't live an experience like I saw in when I was a kid in those nature shows. So I was motivated to look for something else. I always wanted to do an Erasmus program, and that's when I came across the European Solidarity Corps. I was a little afraid of going there because it was in a different country. In this case, it was in France, in the beautiful wetland of Camargue. I was supposed to go for only 9 months, and I ended up staying there for 1 year and a half, first as a European Solidarity Corps volunteer, and then as a Service Civic. There's a lot to tell you about my experience, but because we are short on time and it's not really the main focus of this presentation, I'll just show you a quick video I did during my time there. The quality is not very good, but because of this video, I was selected as one of the volunteers of the year. And yeah, I will show you to you now. Hope you enjoy. Okay. Hope there is sound. So as you can see, I fell in love with a new field, and now I'm completely in love with birds. And just to give you a little insight of what is the European Solidarity Corps and the Service Civic programs, These programs basically believe that young people should and can take action and should be provided with the tools and the support needed for that. Because this way they will learn more about themselves, they will discover themselves, and also connect with other people. In case of the European Union, the priority is also to connect between the different countries, and for us to all know that we are not just Portuguese or French, we are European and also part of the world. And what these programs provide, the problem with volunteering is usually the organizations are not able to provide them, for example, accommodation and food or monthly allowance. In these programs, the European Commission or the French government, they provide the organizations with the funding needed to guarantee that the volunteers have all of this. They also provide language support in case of the European Corps, and also special trainings about living on another country, or about first aid, or project management, all kind of things that are important for the volunteer life as well. This might interest you. First of all, you can help young people like me to reach their dreams, to give them the proper support for them to do volunteer with you. But also, I think you can reach new people with this type of initiatives. Here you have some pictures. The picture of flamingos was taken in Camargue during my volunteer, and because of that picture, I was invited to go to the youth dialogue in Sibiu with former President Juncker, and there I could talk to a lot of young people and some of the most notorious politicians of the European Commission about my project, about this type of initiatives, and to let more people know that we exist, we are important, and you should help us. The other picture, it was a summer camp for university students, where I also spoke about my experience. So basically, you can provide the volunteers support, and you will have more people helping you, and you will also reach more people with your actions. What about me? Now, I'm proud to say that I managed to get a grant with a partnership between a Portuguese university and the Turbala, the place where I did my volunteer. And I am now a PhD student using the data I collected during my volunteer experience and collecting new data to try to help in the conservation of the spoonbills and the wetlands. This is another way that this type of initiatives can bring you new projects that you never imagined. For example, Turbala didn't know about the Portuguese funding. And I also I keep doing presentations for young people and organizations to let more people know about this type of experience, and hopefully to lead to the creation of more projects like this. I'm also very proud to let you know that I am one of the ambassadors of the Power of Wetlands campaign. And this, again, it was a different project that I would never came across if it wasn't for this. So thank you for hearing me, for inviting me. And, I'm sorry I was so tired, but I hope I was clear and you enjoyed my presentation. And this will lead you to new partnerships.